Welcome to Captivating Curtis, the channel that blends tech with DIY to create something truly awesome. Let's get started.
So this is the battery I ended up going with, and I got a really good deal on this on Amazon for $749.99. I think after it was all said and done, it was around $800 with tax. They do have a distribution center out in California. Unfortunately, I live on the East Coast, so it did end up taking a little bit longer to get to me, but I have heard that some people on the West Coast can receive their batteries pretty quickly, so that's something to look out for. This is the lawnmower that I recently purchased, and this is the Ryobi RM480EX, and basically this is the 48-inch version. They do have the RM300E as well. A lot of this video is going to be applicable to the other riding lawnmowers as well. So if you don't have this exact model, be sure to stick around and just check out what I'm doing here, and it should also apply to the other models of lawnmowers as well. Hey guys, Curtis here, and today I am super excited about this project that I'm bringing you. Recently I got into the lawn care side of the Ryobi tools, and as soon as I saw these riding lawnmowers, I knew I wanted to buy one. But the problem is that the newer ones are between $3,000 and $7,000, and these older ones, they're getting harder to find out in the wild. I was lucky enough to pick this one up for $400, and of course, like a lot of the older Ryobi lawnmowers, this one has the lead-acid batteries that are known to go bad. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be swapping in a 48-volt, 100-amp-hour golf cart battery and converting this lawnmower to lithium, or LiFePO₄. So tag along. I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible and also kind of explain things along the way. As you can see, I've already kind of cracked this open just to take a look. I wanted to really get started, and the bottleneck of this project is likely going to be waiting for this battery to arrive. So let's get started. So I want to apologize ahead of time if there's any wind noise or anything in the video. I'll try my best to clean up the sound at the end of the video, but as I mentioned before, I do live in Florida, and it is about 94 degrees outside and 100% humidity, so right now these fans are actually keeping me alive. I do HVAC for a living, so sweating is basically what I get paid for, and I don't really feel like doing it while I'm at home, which is why I actually separated my garage and turned half of it into an air-conditioned workshop, but unfortunately this won't fit through the door. So as I mentioned before, I've already kind of cracked this open a little bit, so I just want to go over kind of what I've done so far. First step is going to be to push your seat forward. I've seen some videos where it actually mentions taking the seat off and doing a whole bunch of other stuff, but I don't think that's going to be necessary here. As an HVAC technician, we try to strive for efficiency. So if I don't need to remove it and it's an extra step, I'm not going to do it. So the first thing that I actually did was removing this rear cover, and if you look around it, it should have 4 screws, which I believe these are T25, and let me just confirm that real quick. T30. Okay, so they are T30 screws. You're going to want to remove these, and then you should be able to just pop this back cover off. And as you can see, it's got these little tabs here, and when you put it back on, those are just going to slide right back into the upper pallet. So remove that, set that aside. Then you will see 2 of these holding the battery down here. Now there is a nut on the bottom side of this, and there's going to be a spacer or a washer between the bracket and the actual frame. So you're going to want to remove these. We used a 13mm socket to do that. So Once you remove these, go ahead and put them back together with that washer so you don't lose it, because that is a support for the actual battery tray. Next, we have another 13 millimeter bolt, and this is a long one here. This one actually goes all the way down in the middle of all of those old lead acid batteries, and it's going to have a little green spacer. And also, there's a Phillips head screw which is holding the Anderson connector, which is the wires here inside of this, the big connectors to the actual frame. So we're going to remove both of these, and then we're going to remove the 4 screws from the upper cowl, which is going to allow us to pull this and kind of get some access there. So now this is freed up on us. So here's what we're looking like now. We have the large bolt removed from the middle there, and the small Phillips head removed from the bracket as well. So now this is loose. You should be able to pull that right apart. Now, we should be free to actually slide these batteries out here. And as you can see, there's a handle here. It is not light, so I want to warn you ahead of time. These batteries are very heavy, and you're going to want something to support the weight. As soon as it gets about halfway off, it starts to tip on you, and you want something underneath that to support it. So let's get set up here, and I'm going to put you guys back on the camera holder, and you can watch me pull these batteries out. So what I'm going to use is just a collapsible milk crate, and it's probably not rated for anything close to this, but really we just need it to kind of hold it so it doesn't fall on us. So I'm going to start down low here, and I'm also going to engage the parking brake. That way I can really pull on this thing. With the wheels being freed up, it does make it more difficult to pull this battery tray out. So I'm going to go ahead and engage the parking brake. It's on. Sure. Oh yeah, it's not going anywhere now. Yeah. So what you're going to want to do is hold on to the top part of the frame here and grab onto the battery tray handle, and you're going to pull these guys like so. Make sure that our wires aren't pulling with it. And little by little, we're going to work this guy out. It's looking good so far. Yeah. All right. Now we have our lead acid battery, or lead acid batteries and tray pulled out enough so that we can access all of them. Another thing that I did was, as you can see on this back here, there are going to be these covers, and each of these covers are going to be around these terminals, and during testing I actually removed those, and you can also see that this here, which I've been told this is a temperature sensor that goes to the charging port, this actually pulls out. So if that happens, don't be alarmed, it's normal. And so we're going to remove each of these plastic panels here, and that's going to give us access to the terminals of the batteries. And we're going to start taking these wires off so that we can free up these batteries and move those out of the way. It shouldn't matter what order you take these off in, but I would be careful not to, if you're using a metal ratchet, just be careful not to short it out against anything, because if these batteries are charged, you can get a pretty good spark, and it might scare you, and don't want anybody to get hurt falling over. So these are actually 14 millimeter bolts for all these batteries here. Let's go ahead and get these removed. Now, to remove this last plastic piece, we're going to have to take these bolts off. And we want to hang on to this actual wire. I'm going to try to reuse that. I did buy extra Anderson connectors, but if I can use this, then that'd be great. Now for the fun part. So we are going to take our 48 volt LiFePO₄ battery and set it on our tray and kind of get it situated and see how it's going to be sitting here. If you need help, this would be the time to ask somebody, because these batteries are not light. They are great as far as weight and energy density goes, but they are heavy, so be careful, don't hurt your back, and lift with your knees, not your back. It's actually a lot lighter than I thought it was going to be. So it is also important to note that when you get these batteries, the DC House actually sends them out with 30% of state of charge. So you're going to want to charge your battery all the way up to 100% before using it, and that just makes sure that you don't mess up the capacity of this battery. So as you can see, I have my charger connected. I'm going to try to get creative with this and actually take the end off of the factory Ryobi charger and try to splice this into it so I can still use my charging cord. Look at that. There's a 14mm tube. Very nice. Just enough to catch it. I'd say they're probably 13mm. So as you can see here, there is quite a bit of room between the stock battery tray and the new LiFePO₄ battery. So my idea is I'm actually going to use one 2x4 here, which I could probably do that the whole length. And also I plan on cutting one so that it wedges up against this battery here. And I might even put some foam on the sides here. You can do this however you want. I've heard of people using straps and just zipping the straps down to this. Just be aware that those do have to slide back in on that. So if you put the screws or the straps here, or you're gonna have to kind of get creative with it, but it's not going to be too difficult to secure these batteries and or this battery. And it is a golf cart battery, so they are meant to bang around a little bit. So let's get this done. Okay, so now that we have everything snugged up tight, battery can't go anywhere, with our little custom frame, and our bolts are tight, we'll go ahead and put our boots on now. This back up, make sure to follow the and we're going to tighten that up and press the batteries back in. And we get to our line point, you see the holes here. As you can see, we're lined up there, lined up there. We have our Anderson cable for our batteries and our other Anderson cable. It's right there. So we'll plug that in, make sure it's negative to negative, positive to positive. Put those together. There we go. Those are in there good. And we got our little battery interlock. And we'll probably just zip tie that off somewhere up in here. So now we're going to start on reassembly. So first, we're going to bolt our battery tray back into place and put the spacer in between here. Be careful with that, you want to line it up. Drop the bolt down. Then there is a nylon nut that goes on the bottom. Then you want to just back the nylon nut with a set of channel locks or a adjustable wrench. Now, let's start putting the top back together. Get this open. So the sides will go over the top. Like that. We're going to be using the torque screws. And there should be 4 of them. And lastly, we will put on the back cowl. And this slides right up into there. Like so. Then we have 4 screws for that. We'll tighten those down. Alright, so now that we have everything secured, it's time to test our mower. Power on. All my lights light up. And I'll go ahead and put it in drive. Release the parking brake. Woo, feel it. Very good. Let's try engaging the blades. I have to say that this mower cuts extremely well. It really makes mowing the lawn feel like more of a task than a chore, something that you can just get done and go back to your day, doing whatever. But I'm not saying that it changed my life, but I think things are going to be a little different now. I'm definitely not going to be working as hard. Take two. Oh yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and possibly subscribing. If you're into DIY and technology, then I'm your guy. And like always, stay cool. I think I like Ryobi. Yeah.